He's back. Well, kind of back. He's limited, but Achane is back at practice. According to this Ian Rappaport retweet on X, Achane practiced today in what appeared to be a lighter walkthrough session. Watch him go out there, do running back drills, reps, including changing direction, catching passes on his ankle, no red jersey, or clear visual limitations from the media viewing. So Achane's back on the field. I see the footage of him right now. You can actually see him walking around out there. No limitations. Out there doing his thing. Achane's season is not on hold. No, it's not. And you know what season's also getting ignited? The same moment in time as this man Achane is practicing, the Jaylen Wright season is about to be unleashed upon the world. Now, there is a small chance that Jaylen Wright doesn't really get unleashed in week number 2, and it's all Achane and a little bit of Wilson Jr. It's certainly possible, but I do sniff a Jaylen Wright breakout sesh coming in week number 2. It's in week 2, number 3, number 4. Doesn't matter. It's going to happen. Make sure he's not available on waivers. I can only scream it as many times as I have before your league mate watches this very show and goes and picks up Achane. Or goes and picks up Kyron to pair with their Achane. You know, we only hit this board over and over and over and over and over all off season long. Wright is a universal. Well, he's a unicorn too. Universal handcuff to Mostert and to Achane. If Mostert goes down, Wright goes to the moon. If Achane goes down, Wright goes to the moon. If both go down, he goes to Saturn, which may happen. There's still a chance that maybe Achane doesn't play. But according to this right here, I'm going to go ahead and say he looks like he's inching closer and closer to playing week number 2. I'm hoping we have a 1-2 punch. I'm hoping we have the Mostert and Achane special reincarnated into the Achane and Wright duo, because the 1-2 punch is going to be off the hook, and Achane doesn't need to be the every down back. We don't want him to be the every down back. We want him getting 12 to 14 carries max. This team's going to run way more than that. We want him to get 4, 5, or 6 receptions to go along with his 12 to 14 carries, and that will equate to over 100 total yards and 1 to 5 touchdowns. That's what that will do, because that's how Dad did it. That's how America does it.
Let him cook.
Worked out pretty good so far.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Achane out there looking unhampered. Not concerned, to be honest with you, looking at the footage. I don't think he looks hampered at all whatsoever. And look, Mostert's ruled out according to several reports earlier this morning, and it's been confirmed and confirmed on top of confirmed. Mostert is out. Mostert is out. He's not playing week number 2. And I don't know if he'll ever really return to form. Mostert was never a person you were wanting to own without having really all 3 of them, but without having Wright handcuffed to Mostert. You can't have Mostert on your roster and not have Jaylen Wright. You can't have Achane on your roster without having at least Jaylen Wright. And some of you may have pushed your luck. Look, it happens. Or sometimes somebody can reach and take somebody way too early. But in the case of Wright, there were very few cases I ever saw or experienced myself where Wright was taken really early by somebody way out of pocket. Like, this guy was very predictable in a draft. Nobody really wanted to draft him. He's on the free agent waiver wire in so many leagues right now. Still, we have people in the chat right now going, Smitty, I just picked up Wright. Smitty, I just picked up Wright. I know in some Shark leagues he was maybe even drafted. I drafted him in every single league I was a part of, but I took him really late. So there was a real good shot he was going to go undrafted in a handful of leagues that even I was in. But he's still out there in an uncomfortable amount of leagues. And we're talking about, at this current moment in time, we're talking about Wright. Wright is out there in an uncomfortable amount of leagues, sitting there on the wire. And I'm still getting questions like, Smitty, do I drop so-and-so for him? Do I drop a guy like, I don't know, Deontay Johnson for Wright? Of course you do. If Achane does sit out, and there's still a shot that Achane sits out, Wright is going to be the Jordan Mason of the moment. We're going to have Jordan Mason in week 1 and Jaylen Wright in week 2. And Wright has the league-winning secret sauce that no player has. Even Mason doesn't quite have, potentially yet, the amount of long-term viability that is presented to this situation in Miami, where there's 2 running backs that can coexist as running back ones in fantasy football. You heard me correct. Mostert was 20-plus touchdowns last year. Achane was a monster per start. And they did it at the same time. Miami Mike McDaniel, this offshoot offense from San Francisco, is a one-of-a-kind situation we've never seen before, ever in fantasy football. Ever. The fact that 2 of these guys, and now it looks like it's going to be Wright and Achane going forward. I mean, you never know. Mostert could come back, but he's... Ziggy, how old is Raheem Mostert?
Raheem Mostert is 32 years old and was born on April 9th, 1992.
32, guys. 32. There's such a slim to none likelihood that this guy was or will play any sort of full season at all. Wright and Mostert equals winning. Wright in your lineup, even if you own no Mostert shares and no Achane shares, could be the Jordan Mason that we just saw in week 1 in week 2. We shall see what happens, but apparently we are looking good for the Achane week 2 unveiling. So hang tight on that. Let's get to these super chats and get to some of your phone calls real quickly. We won't be live too long today. Little Smitty's over there in the corner getting the gummies. I got the gummies or the fruit roll-up wrap, and I said, can you please just give me 15 minutes on this? Because little Smitty's out there in the living room. I'm watching her today. Today is, everyone's sick again. we get a pandemic dragged into this household every other week at least. The kids bring it home from school every single week or other week. Thoughts on my team: 0-1. Pat Mahomes, Kyron, Brian Robinson, Ridley, and Chase and Kincaid. Keon, Jordan Mason, bench Purdy, Hollywood, Dell. I mean, I love Dell. Dell on your bench makes me cringe a little bit. I mean, are you really putting Ridley in? Let's see, what is this? Pat Mahomes, Kyron, Brian Robinson, Ridley, and Chase and Kincaid, and flex is Keon and Jordan Mason, and you've got Dell on the bench. Why would you have Dell on the bench? Let's put Dell in the lineup. Dell deserves to be in the lineup over probably Ridley or Keon. And if it's me, I'm trading Brian Robinson and one of those guys, keeping Dell, for a slight running back or wide receiver upgrade, or a flex upgrade, if you will. Or running back 2 upgrade, if you will. Because if you're trading Brian Robinson, you need to get an RB. So Brian Robinson and maybe Ridley for Walker, for Jacobs, who's doubted right now. Those kinds of moves, I think, make a lot of sense for your team. I think if you do that, you're like pushing the 8.0 type of squad. Castro, appreciate you. Smitty, thinking of trading CMC, Mason, Andrews, and Amari Cooper for Hall, McBride, and Puka. This is an interesting trade. A lot of injuries involved in this one. I'll probably say, thinking of trading CMC, Mason, Andrews, Cooper. CMC, Mason, Andrews, Cooper for McBride, Hall, Puka. Yeah, you got to take McBride, Hall, and Puka. And even when Puka comes back, this is not even close to fair. So you got Likely and Bowers. Yeah, that's an easy smash. That's a really like one of those moves that like later on everyone's going to go, oh, that's why he won everything and smashed everybody into a million little pieces. Afternoon, Smitty, should I start Wright over Ridley this week? It obviously it's determined by what the word is on the street right before game time. If Wright is getting that cameras on him, he's warming up, they're talking about him. Remember when they put the camera on Jordan Mason? And they just showed him warming up, and they're like, this guy's been... The spotlight's on, the audio's, the crowd's just kind of humming, and then you can kind of hear the announcer underneath the crowd, and it's like... And Jordan Mason's just taking the practice, like, handoffs, and you just knew. You knew that Jordan Mason was going to drop loads all over the field. You just knew it. It was coming for everybody, and nobody could do a thing about it. We got to know that Wright's in the position to do what Mason just did, and we will know because it's a spotlight game. We'll have total audio, visual, focused camera shots, everything, and we'll know, bro. We'll know if Wright is getting that Mostert role, even if Achane's playing. Now, if Achane's out and Mostert's out, Wright is they're gonna carry Wright in on their shoulders and set him at the center of the field, and we're gonna know what time it is. It's gonna be Wright season out of the gate. Now, if Wright and Achane are starting, I still believe we're gonna get a little dose of what Mason brought to the table in week 1. I truly do. This is an offense that Mostert scored 20 plus touchdowns while Achane was doing his thing, doing the wide back thing, which is what Achane is. He's Miami Mike McDaniel's wide back. Miami Mike McDaniel came over from San Francisco, and he designed and architected Deebo Samuel. He is the guy that made Deebo Samuel into his Frankenstein. And now he comes over to Miami. And I admit, when it first happened, I'm like, who's his Deebo? Who is his Deebo? Drafts this young rookie. His name's Devon Achane. And kind of hard to see coming that he was going to turn him into Deebo because he's an RB. But it makes so much sense after the fact. It's so clear that this guy was, from the jump, his Deebo Samuel, just wrapped up in a running back role, running back, wide back to wide receiver versus wide receiver playing running back as well. And so this man's compartmentalized Achane outside of the Wright/Mostert role. Wright goes to the moon. If Wright is starting as the Mostert, he's going to the moon. Now, is there a chance that Jeff Wilson Jr. gets the nod? Yes, and we're here to make sure people understand that. And if you miss out on Wright, you missed out on Mason, you missed out on Garendo. Like, you've just been one step behind Bobby. Just absolutely every single time you're just running late to the party. The party's over, pal. And you need something. Maybe you pick up Wilson Jr. Maybe Wilson Jr. gets run. It's hard to say. We don't know for sure, but we know that they love this kid Wright. We'll find out more in the coming hours, maybe, but definitely coming 24 hours. So hang tight on this. We'll have a very clear understanding of what time it is once we get closer and closer. Would you trade Reed for JMO? I think it's a pretty even swap. I think considering Love is out, currently expected to be out for 3-4 weeks, I think JMO's better. But I have a sneaky suspicion that Reed's going to be without his quarterback for 1 and 2 weeks. It's just a total gut call. It could be wrong. Could go on IR. That happens too. Like, they wait a week and then they put a player on IR, and it's like, wow. But I truly think that Jordan Love escaped a very bad injury. And the fact that he's young and it's between a grade 1 and a grade 2, we don't know if it's closer to a grade 1. It might not be straight down the middle, 1.5 grade. It might be closer to a 1 than a 2. And if it is, that could mean he sits out a week and then the integrity of the knee is not in jeopardy, and it's all a pain tolerance issue at that point. And I mean, I could see it happening, especially if they're worried about record. And this guy's a dog, Jordan Love. He's hungry. $10
to the moon.
Moonshot. My man, Jaden. What's up, Smitty? What do you think? 12-team PPR, QB Murray, Achane, Kyron, Dell Rice, Freiermuth, Brian Robinson, bench, Cooks, Fields. I like it. I like it. I think you have two very crafty wide receivers. If it's me, I'm trading Brian Robinson. I mean, maybe Brian Robinson and Kyler for Mahomes, Brian Robinson and Kyler for Hurts, Brian Robinson and Kyler for Josh Allen. Like that comes to mind. If you can't pull that off, you don't really have any bench talent to trade unless Jaylen Wright gets in there and you're willing to sacrifice that upside that he has. And I don't know that I would, considering you have Achane. So there really is nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. You can't trade Wright. You can't separate these two monsters. And in your flex is Brian Robinson. I think all you got to do is, if Wright gets a start, you plug Wright into the flex. You take Brian Robinson out. You explore trading Brian Robinson, who I would have said Tank Dell would be perfect, but maybe he has such a big week too, Brian Robinson, and I don't want him to on your bench if you're starting Wright, but they might both do well. Maybe somehow he gets Marvin Harrison Jr. value. You know, like MHJ does like a 60-yard game and there's no touchdown. I think you could probably go do it. Could you trade for Devontae Smith right now? Maybe. Could you trade for a tight end upgrade, Pat Freiermuth and Brian Robinson Jr. for a Kincaid? Probably try that now. That's the only move really to make right now. I don't divide the running backs. I don't wait for Wright to gain value. I seize the moment and opportunity of Wright if he gains the value. So go do a tight end upgrade to McBride or Kincaid. Do it live. Let's see here. Let's see. What about Wilson? I asked trade me. Likely Spears. I asked trade me. What are you talking about, bro? Ingram, Ford. Probably pushing it. Okay. I asked trade me likely Spears for Ingram, Ford. Likely Spears for Ingram, Ford. That's not pushing it, bro. That's not even something someone could veto or even argue. I can see people arguing both sides. I guess call me crazy, but I almost like likely a little bit more than Ingram right now, but that could change. I mean, Ingram was so good last year, and then look at him in the preseason. Ford is nice. I like Ford over Spears. I guess give me the Ingram Ford side, but I don't even know what side you were saying too much. You were asking too much. I don't think you're asking too much. I think it's pretty even. I struggle with it. Shoulder. Should I trade? I think is what you're trying to type. What's wrong with the predictive text today? Should I trade DeAndre Swift and Flowers for J.K. Dobbins and Hollywood? DeAndre Swift and Flowers for J.K. and Hollywood. I would rather have J.K. and Hollywood. Thoughts on my team? Tua, Amon-Ra, Evans, Jacobs, Kamara, McBride, Dobbins. I like it. Do I think it's the best team in the league? No. I mean, Jacobs and Kamara are good. They're not amazing. They're good. Amon-Ra and Evans, that's great. Tua's decent. Not even great or good. It's like decent to good. McBride, I still think he's a monster. Dobbins. I think... yeah, I think Hollywood and Jay... See, I don't know if you already did this trade or if you're saying this in reverse, bro. Should I trade DeAndre Swift and Flowers for J.K. Dobbins and Hollywood? You have J.K. Dobbins right here already. So you're either wording this wrong or you're assuming the trade is going through. I don't know what you're doing here, Oscar. You're all over the place. Shoulder, I trade? Oscar, we need to clean this up. I would say... if this is me and I'm looking at this team right here, and this is what I got to work with right here, because I don't know what the hell you're doing, Oscar. Dobbins and maybe... damn. Dobbins for MHJ. I'm doing it. I don't care what anybody says. I'm doing that. Do it live. Do it live. Drafting. Should I drop Braylon Allen or Chase Brown for Wright? No, you should have already done it. I guess I'm dropping Braylon Allen. I keep Chase Brown. I don't know. I keep Chase Brown, I think. It could go either way. It depends on who gets in the lineup for whatever reason. Like, that's the reason someone's going to be worth more, because they're dead even. Drop Chase Brown or Tajay. I drop Tajay Spears over dropping Chase Brown. I know everybody wants to give up on Chase Brown, but I'm telling you, he was never exactly guaranteed to be the guy yet. And people assuming that it didn't happen in week 1 is done. It's all a done, wrapped up thing. That's a wild way to think. 16-team league. This is tough. Mahomes, Najee, Chuba, Warren, Tyler Lockett or Tyler Algier? Probably Tyler Algier. You guys got to be clear on this stuff. MH, this is life and death right here. You know, we're saving lives here. You can't hand me a number 2 scalpel when I need a number 3. You can't hand me 4 gigawatts when I need 2. We could overload the flux capacitor. MHJ, DK, Jameson, Kittle, Colts looking to upgrade running back. Who should I target and trade away? Najee, Chuba. I mean, almost your whole team, other than I don't trade Mahomes, I don't trade MHJ, I don't trade DK, I don't trade Jameson. So I love your 3 wide receivers in your QB, but I'm not a fan of the Najee, Chuba. I like Warren, but not as I don't know. Najee and Warren together are pretty, I think, attractive trade pieces when you couple it with a Jameson, and maybe you go get a Kyron, an Achane, a JT, that variety. Or you wait it out a week, you see if there's clarity behind the Pittsburgh Steelers running back system, and then you go from there. At least you got 2 RBs there to cover for making sure you've got a starter. But, I mean, JT might be attainable with a Najee. You might even be able to keep Warren and JMO. JMO's got a lot of value right now. If JMO goes out and has a mediocre day, his skyrocketing value could potentially fall to the wayside immediately. That's how fickle people are. Look how people are treating Marvin Harrison Jr. right now. Maybe the number 1 overall wide receiver a year or 2 from today. I still believe 1 week doesn't change my mind on MHJ. Had he caught that wide open 20, 30-yard touchdown at the end of the game, everybody would be in here singing his praises. What up, Smitty? Got trades cooking. What do you think of Ridley and Pickens for Worthy in London? I take Worthy in London and I run. Got Wright and Mason cooking up offers now. Love it, love it, love it. Trade my Devontae Smith for MHJ PPR. I would rather have MHJ. Call me crazy. QB Lamar Fields, Bijan Stevenson, Evans, Debo, Marvin Harris. Is that Harrison Jr.? What's with Harris Jr.? We got to work. We got to tighten up our typos and our predictive text. Who the hell is Harris Jr.? Bijan Stevenson. I assume that's Javonte Williams. I assume. Harrison Jr., Evans, Debo, Rice. Love Rice, bro. That's fantastic. I'm trading Keenan Allen, and I'm trading probably Stevenson for one better player on this team. Do not do a single thing to anything else. It's an absolute monster of a squad just waiting that one maneuver. That one maneuver. Trade Jonathan Brooks for Worthy. Only if you like winning, Mamba. Yes. $10 hauler from my boy Rogue. 12-team PPR 2 flex. Richardson, Kamara. I love seeing Richardson in lineups right now. I'm just so happy. Ear to ear. Ear to ear on the Richardson movement.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars man.
Look at Cup. Look at Cup. Look at Debo. Look at AR5. Look at Barkley.
Dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
McBride and Kincaid in London are gonna be balling soon. Just hang tight and buy low. Buy low, buy low, buy low. Richardson, Kamara, Hall, Collins, London, Kincaid. Like the team a lot. I mean, Kirk and somebody, sure. Let's look at it. Kirk and Kamara maybe get you something, quite possibly. Charbonnet, maybe go to the Walker owner and try and give him Charbonnet and Kirk for a slightly better player of some kind. Rogue, appreciate you. That's what I would do. Okay, this next one is from Drip dropping this one out. Allen, JJ, Garrett Wilson, Nico, Rice, Worthy, very good wide receivers. Your running backs must be very bad before I even get to it because you got too many wide receivers that are great. McBride, running backs, Najee, Javonte. Yeah. Look, Wright might step up big for you, bro. Since you've got Wright, I'm trying to get Achane, Najee, and probably... You know, I love BT, but BT and Najee cannot get you Achane, who's injured right now, and they don't have the backup. I'm trying for that, bro. I'm trying for Kyron. I'm trying for JT. I'm trying for Pacheco. I'm giving up a little less for Pacheco. I'm willing to pay a whole lot more for Kyron or Achane. Great potential base to that team, though. Do I drop Ray Davis for Wright? Yes, you do. Yeah, but let me just tell you, Ray Davis might be the next guy we're talking about. So if you could drop somebody else, do it. You got Deontay Johnson, bye-bye. Keep Ray Davis if you can. Ray Davis might just be the Jaylen Wright, Jordan Mason 2, 3, 4 weeks from now. Everybody's capable in his situation to be a freaking league winner. Gregory, no message attached. Appreciate you dropping the $4.99. Gregory dropping another blank here with the $1.99, but I appreciate him regardless. You know, sometimes people do drop a blank and they just want to say hi, and I appreciate that very much. Smitty, start DK or Godwin. We're starting DK, pal. Tua or Burrow. I'm going to probably go Tua this... Well, I probably go Tua this week. It's a tough call, though. Flex, Keon, or Reed. You're going Reed, I think. You have to. And then Wright, if he starts. If Wright is the lone starter, Wright's going in. If Wright is this, you know, if he's starting Mostert's role and Achane's still there, I think we have a like last second dilemma, like a vote from the chat. You know, come in the live stream and ask me then. Drop Javonte or Corum for Fields. I drop Javonte. I know where everyone's dropping Corum like crazy right now, which it kind of makes me smile just because of how panicked everybody was. You know, now Ronnie Rivers is maybe entering the chat, but, you know, I'm not dropping Corum yet personally at all. I still think there's value there in case, you know, Kyron gets hurt, but I do think Javante's a lost cause in that system, unfortunately. Sorry, it was two separate leagues, 12-man PPR, Tua, Herbert, wide receiver Amon-Ra, Evans, Ridley, Keon Coleman, A.D. Mitchell, running backs Josh Jacobs, Kamara, Dobbins, Chase Brown, Wright. So this is a good spot to be in because you can trade Brooks away with even like Tua or Herbert to try and get a slight, you know, AR5 if you're lucky and you catch someone sleeping. Probably not going to get that done very easily though. But Ridley and potentially Jacobs for a player, Ridley and maybe Brooks together for a player. Dobbins and Ridley could get you something, and you're going for the JTs and down until you hit a point where you're like, it's too much. I'm starting to get close to where my JK or my Ridley's too close to the player I'm asking for. Like you start asking for I don't know, Stevenson, it gets a little dicey, right? Because you got like JK, Stevenson, and you're giving up Ridley. But if you're getting a Pacheco, a JT, a Kyron, an Achane, and you're floating in that what would probably equate to like 13 overall to like 36 overall, and you're getting an RB in that territory, I'm doing it. Cup is a guy that was available like this before week 1. You could get Cup with a Dobbins type player if Dobbins was popping off yet and Cup wasn't yet, let's say. Cup's value is right here, and now Cup's a top 5 overall pick maybe to a lot of people, definitely a top 5 wide receiver. So who is that? I think MHJ is probably the best player to comp to that rise from where people had him. Trade away CMC, Mason, Worthy for Hall and Rice. CMC, Mason, Worthy for Hall and Rice. Get Hall and Rice and run from the veto police. Hide under a bridge. Don't let them see you. They'll reverse that in a second. I do not like vetoes. Thoughts on Debo with CMC injury? Worth trading for? Yeah, I think Debo goes up in value for sure. There's risk value, there's injury risk, there's all that when that happens, but I think Debo's certainly going to get fed more, and I love it. Need help? Trade. I have Mahomes, Gibbs, Connor, Wilson, DK, Scary Terry, Kyle Pitts. Flex is Pollard. Bench is Shaheed, Singletary, Dobbs, Goddard. Okay, this is good. I mean, Mahomes and Gibbs and Garrett Wilson, DK. I like this team a lot. Kyle Pitts. I'm a little worried about Garrett Wilson. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not getting rid of him. You know, Scary Terry and Pollard together could be pretty good. Shaheed and Pollard together could be pretty good. I think I'm potentially moving that kind of stuff around. Not touching Mahomes, not touching Gibbs. Connor and Terry could get you something. Pollard is a guy I'm trading before the wheels fall off. There's even word that they want to balance out the running attack more than it was. Even though Pollard had good success, they've said we want to potentially get Spears more involved. Someone dropped Wright. How much, Fab? I would put $100 out of 100. I'd put 100% full load drop myself, but that's me. That's me. Now, you may not be that person, but I'm that person. Likely deserves it. Wright deserves it. Mason deserves it.
Full load drop.
Mason deserves it as well, but easy call for me. Full load drop. Now, don't panic. I don't want you to be if you're not a capable person of handling that going awry, then don't do it. Don't bring that to my plate after something goes wrong or doesn't go to plan. Let's say you do it for Wright, and then all of a sudden they say Wright's going to be inactive again, and they're starting Achane, and then Wilson's going to be the number 2. I don't want to hear you go, I just wasted my fab. I'm dropping Jaylen Wright now. Jaylen Wright is more than just this week. He's a league-winning long-term asset that may or may not be unlocked this week, but it feels like he will. Need a running back badly. You have Swift, Diggs, Godwin, Devontae Smith. Where's Mason? David? CMC and Mostert on my team. Where's Mason? David. I mean, Higgins, I don't even know if Higgins can be traded anymore. Swift and Higgins for Walker. Swift and Higgins for Kamara. Madison, throw him in. Who cares? Godwin, throw him in. Who cares? The only players, and I'll be honest, the only players I even like on this team. David, I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. I'm honest so you can make moves. I'm not, sometimes, like I said yesterday or earlier today, I'll be honest and say something and someone will be mad. And then it makes them think about something different and they go make a trade and they come back and they go, Smitty, I'm so glad you were hard on my team. I made this trade. And then all of a sudden I love the team. But I don't want Swift. I don't want Godwin. I don't like Higgins. I don't like Judy. I don't like Madison. I really don't like most of these players. Now, Christian McCaffrey, if you had Mason, you'd be good. But can't cry over spilled milk. It is what it is. I mean, Diggs and Godwin. I'm sorry, Swift and Godwin or Swift. I like Devontae Smith. Swift and Godwin or Swift and Higgins. You're just going to try to throw mud at the wall, bro, until it sticks with the Pacheco's on down. Even Jacobs could be somebody here. MHJ I'm looking at. Problem is you got to be careful if you trade away Swift and you got no other running back. What do? Where's Jaylen Wright? You have Mostert and no Wright. You have CMC and no Mason. Like, if one of them didn't work out, David, I wouldn't be so hard on you, but literally, you drafted Christian McCaffrey, you drafted Mostert, and you don't have either one of the cuffs, and I've been screaming it all offseason. I appreciate you. David, thank you. Let me go to this next one. Chris, appreciate you. We starting JD5 or Dak this week. I'd probably go JD5, but that's me. That's just me. Any moves with this roster? Fields, Achane, Monty. I'm probably going to try and trade. I don't know. No, you know what? I'm probably holding on this unless I could trade Pacheco and maybe a McLaurin. Maybe one of those aspects of this team. Maybe I'm trading Monty and potentially Neighbors for a monster like St. Brown or Chase. Jamar Chase would be good with Monty. Pollard in that would be good. Let's see here. Let me find. Let me get these. Zeke or Corum. Zeke for Corum. Yeah, I'd rather have Corum. Not that Corum's for sure anything right now. It could be Ronnie. I think it could be potentially Ronnie Rivers, but Coleman or Dell. I'm taking Dell. Dell in the flex. Dell for the future. I love Coleman, but Dell is the answer. That's an easy call. Fonz, appreciate you. Drop 100 on likely Mason rest of season. I'm gonna go Mason, or I'll put claims in for both, my guy. Claims in for both. I have a waiver for Wright dropping Gabe Davis. I think that's fantastic. That's smart. Smart job. I like it. PPR redraft. I trade Diggs for Rashee Rice. I take Rashee Rice and run from the veto police. Wright or for Bowers, I take Wright over Bowers if it's redraft. Thank you for the super chat. Jay Whitty says, Neighbors already gave you advice on this one, right? No. Kyler, Jacobs, Hall, Neighbors, Rice, McBride, Barkley, Mason. Love this team. Wright. I like what you got going on here. I let this ride for a week, bro, and then take it from there. Maybe Kyler and potentially, I don't know. Maybe because you don't have Achane or Mostert or anything, maybe I would potentially look to shop Wright if he gains value. I would look to maybe shop Mason on the high right now. Mason and potentially Kyler for one of the top 3 QBs. That's the only thing that I'm looking to do at this current moment in time. And then I'm holding on that team. Stroud or JD5, I'm going to go probably Stroud this week, but I'm very tempted to say JD5 because of matchups. And I could be okay with that if you want to switch it up. Allen, Fields, Gibbs, Aaron Jones. I'm trading Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones and Reed. Aaron Jones and Godwin. Aaron Jones and one of your tight ends, or throw your tight end and make it an even bigger trade. That's an easy maneuver there. John with the $10 super chat. I already have Achane, Wright, and Hall and Allen in my Dynasty League. I just picked up Justin Fields. Should I play him over Burrow this week? I probably would right now. There's a lot of footage of Burrow going like this with his wrist, and he's doing it the whole game. It's pretty concerning. So I kind of want to say play it by ear. Mercury, appreciate you. Start Baker versus Detroit, CJ versus Chicago. I'm going CJ Stroud. I'm not sitting CJ Stroud. He's one of those guys you almost don't sit unless you've got a AR5 or something like that. Start Waddle or Dobbins. I'm going to go Waddle, but I mean, certainly Dobbins is capable, just so you know. I do believe that he's capable. Joe, appreciate you, Joe. QB, CJ Stroud. Kyron, Mason, Monty, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Diggs, Reed, Bowers, and likely. What can I do to upgrade this championship team? DJ Moore, get rid of him. Mason and DJ Moore together if the price is right, or don't trade Mason, but explore. Don't be closed-minded to the situation. Monty and DJ Moore for one bigger player. And of course, I'm thinking of Kyron, Achane, JT, and in some cases, DJ Moore for MHJ. What smaller piece do you need to give up to make that happen? Would I do Mason for MHJ? Probably. That's how much I love MHJ right now. And this team right here, kick return points, you're going to know your own league on that, buddy, in terms of like what this is going to do to these players. So you're going to have to keep that into account. But Ferguson, Ray Davis on waivers, what moves do you make? Fergie's nice to grab and put on IR if for any reason he sits, but he might even play this week. So I'm going to say right here, this team right here is pretty darn good, bro. J.K. Dobbins, a very tradable piece to me. J.K. and Cooper for one bigger player. J.K. and Cooper for one bigger player. I wouldn't be afraid, even though I love JD5. Cooper and JD5, J.K. and JD5 for a better quarterback upgrade. We're talking top 3. Or J.K. and Cooper for one monster player, bro. Go do it live. That's what I would do with that team. Zach Moss for Stafford. Other running back. Okay, Jordan, Love went down. Yeah, Zach Moss for Stafford's fine in that situation. Of course, I like other quarterbacks more, but I'd certainly contemplate that. I have Gibbs, Jacobs, Walker, Charbonnet, and Mason at running back. Should I make any moves for a wide receiver? Brown, Godwin, Debo, J-Mo, Worthy. Walker, Charbonnet, you got it. Godwin, okay. So St. Brown or A.J. Brown, I don't know which one because you didn't clarify, but I'll assume because they're very close to me. Godwin and Debo. I like your team, Worthy. You don't need it. You don't need it. If anything, I'm taking Godwin and potentially Mason and getting that monster, or taking Jacobs and Godwin, or even J-Mo, and I'd rather use Godwin, but J-Mo and Mason and getting that monster, or Jacobs and J-Mo and getting that monster. But I'm certainly not married to that situation in needing to keep Mason. I'm just not. Let's see here. Have CMC, Mason, got Gibbs. To do I keep CMC or trade? Have CMC and Mason, got Gibbs. Do I keep or trade? I mean, look, bro, I think unless somebody comes to you with an amazing offer, you're perfectly set up with Mason. I don't think I'm making a move, to be honest with you. I think I stand on that. That's a pretty good situation to be in because you have Mason. I like it. Ridley for JK. I'm going to take Ridley. If you need a running back, either side's good. You need a running back, JK. I'm not saying I believe JK is going to stay healthy, but it is what it is, pal. It is what it is. Other team, half PPR, 2 QB. This situation here, what are you doing here? 2 QB, Stroud, Richardson, Carr, Chase Brown, Stevenson, Warren, Brooks. I'm trading Brooks and maybe Stevenson for one bigger player. Olave, St. Brown, Godwin and Stevenson for one bigger player. Dell DK, you got a good wide receiver room. Dell DK, St. Brown, I'm keeping that. I'm trading Godwin, Dunze, I'm trading Stevenson, I'm trading Brooks, I'm trading all of it to go get that Kyron, that Achane, that JT. I'm trading Brooks for MHJ. I'm trading Brooks and maybe Brooks and maybe Godwin. Brooks and Godwin for MHJ. I bet you that's more doable than you think. I get this little kid. Well, here, you want more gummies? Close the door. I'll give you more gummies. Okay, give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes, okay? Okay? Deal? All right, deal. Close the door. I'm not giving you the gummies. No gummies. 5, 4, 3, 2. Close the door. Scary Terry Pollard or Connor for Rice. Pollard. I don't know what we're saying here, Chef. Scary Terry, Pollard, or Connor for Rice. I hate these like and if or carry the 5. I'd rather keep Connor over all those pieces if you have Benson. Scary Terry over Pollard. But I would definitely take Rice for any 2 of those. Appreciate you. Okay, you take on Tyreek Hill's video. If I closed my window, what would happen? You mean your take? I mean, what's going on with the autocorrect? Clean it up. I'm not getting political on the Tyreek Hill video, bro. All right. Sorry, Marquez. I mean, look. Yeah, I'm not going to go there. Bro. Start Wright, Swift, or Eckler. I'm starting Wright if he's got the go-ahead, bro. But we need to totally wait and see what's going on with that. Let's see. No gummies. I'm not giving you gummies. Unless you get out of here and close that door. She's got total control of the show right now. There you go. You're on your way. You're on your way to 5 gummies. She's got total control over the show right now. She's 3. And she got total control of everything going on right now. Daniels, Superflex, Daniels, Knicks, Penix Jr., Taxi Squad, drop Knicks for Fields. Yes, I probably would, bro. I'd rather have Fields right now at this current moment in time. Oh man, I got rid of a super chat. Let's see, Oscar Mac. Let me see if I can find this. Oscar Mac. I don't know which one I just closed. I think I got it. If I close somebody's super chat, I apologize. Oscar, can you give me 4 minutes? 4 minutes for 5 gummies. 4 minutes for 5 gummies, please. Okay, thoughts on my 14-team league: QB, Jaden Daniels, Dak, Jacobs, Ford, Swift, Brian Robbins, Jaylen Wright. This isn't going to work. Amon-Ra, Cooper Kupp, Lab McConkey, McBride. Like the team in some ways, in other ways I do not. Amon-Ra, Kupp, I love. Dak Prescott, Jaden Daniels. Hold on. Thank you. I feel like that guy in CNN when his family coming in when he's doing the interview. I got the whole household sick, so unfortunately. Okay. Let's see here. Amon-Ra, Kupp, lad. I don't know what to do with this team, bro. Swift and maybe Ladd. Ladd's got some value right now. Hold McBride. Jacobs, I would trade or hold. It just depends. The unfortunate part about this team is you almost, if you got to make a move, you almost got to trade Cooper Kupp and try and turn Cooper Kupp into 2 players if you think you need to make a move. But 14-team league, you're pretty good right now. I probably roll into the week unless you can get rid of Swift and Ladd for one piece. I'm going after MHJ. He seems to be so undervalued right now. Try and keep the questions to a short thing, guys, at least right now, because I'm going to have to go here in a second. And the longer your question is, the harder it is for me to process it right now, because I gotta take care of this. So if you're going to put a super chat in, maybe do a single question versus a full this guy Goof, you're Goof. We're gonna put you in timeout. You keep dropping F-bombs over and over and over, bro. My team is Hurts, Kyron, Achane, Olave, Dell, Laporta, Ford, bench. Okay, movie on the big TV. Give me 1 second. I gotta put movie on the big TV. What movie would put on the big TV? All right. My team is Hurts, Kyron, Achane, Olave, Dell, Laporta, Ford. Bench is Jaden Daniels. My team is Hurts, Achane. It's a great team. Olave and Ford. Jaden Daniels. Somebody wants to have Jaden Daniels, bro. So it depends on what that team has. London. Love London. Love London. Am I trading a lot? I'm probably trading Olave. Olave and Ford for one bigger, stronger, better player. I start at Chase. I take Achane if I can get it. I take St. Brown if I can get it. I take Kyron if I can get it. I take JT if I can get it. Ford and Olave. You're swinging big. And then once you get past that point, I don't know, but what I want to do with that is create a 2-for-1 and then put London in your lineup. London does not belong on the bench. It's crazy that you have London, Pickens, and Reed on the bench. Trade Reed for Corum. No, that's too much, bro. Don't give up that value. That value is insane. That value is absolutely insane. I'm trying to get through these bigger super chats here, so hang tight. Would you start Justin Fields or Kyler Murray this week? I'm going Kyler Murray. Also, I have Najee and Stevenson starting. Would you start Wright over any of them? I start Wright over every single player that's not a top 5 or 6 running back if he's the solo RB, but we don't know, so I cannot give you the answer yet. But we'll know soon. And once we know if Wright's getting the go-ahead, the solo start, we'll have him in the Jordan Mason bracket, bro. That's how good he's going to be. If he's starting with Achane, he's still going to be a fantastic play. Probably better than Najee, maybe not better than Stevenson, but maybe. We'll just have to play it by ear in terms of what the coach speak is. because very much somebody I want to get in every one of my lineups if he's starting in even the Mostert role with Achane in the lineup. Traded CMC, Ingram, Swift for Bowers and you traded CMC, Ingram, and Swift for Bowers and Swift. I know I messed up pretty bad. You did when you were trading Swift and you sent him right back and he's on both teams. I'd say you messed up. I don't know what you're saying on this. Have Cup and A.J. Brown. Swift and Bowers. CMC, Ingram, and Swift for Bowers and Swift. I don't know where that's going, bro. I don't know who that Swift's supposed to be, which side has Swift, and what that other player name should be. Maybe I'll come back and you'll have it. I don't know. Sounds like you don't like it though. I have Mahomes. Why did you do a trade you didn't like? We got to figure out why you did that, and so we don't do it in the future. I have Mahomes and JD5 and my one QB. Need running back depth. Should I offer JD5 for Mason or another running back? Yes, Walker, Mason. Give up a little bit more to get a Pacheco. Give up. I do it for Jacobs, who's very doubted by his owners right now. But Mason's good enough to try. I mean, it's a nice gamble given the situation with CMC, bro. CMC could. I don't know if you guys missed the show earlier, but CMC could be out more than a couple games. He could be out one game. We don't know. He's got Achilles tendonitis on top of the calf injury, and there's huge concern with that situation. Huge concern. So Mason, I imagine Mason's going to be utilized throughout the entirety of the year on some level, even if he doesn't start for 3 or 4 games. Wouldn't shock me either if Christian McCaffrey went on IR or something or played next week. You don't know. We have no information. Offer Mason to the CMC owner for Puka. I'm okay with that. Hate Thursday Night Football. I hear you, but sometimes it's been good. Ford or Achane at the flex, I'm going to go Achane, as long as he's playing. But I don't mind getting Puka for Mason. That's a pretty good get, at the end of the day, especially if you have the depth and you don't necessarily need Mason. Start Wright or Kenneth Walker. Walker for now. If the solo start gets handed to Wright, then I think we got a big dilemma on our hands. But for right now, Walker's the answer. Traded away Jordan Mason, who I drafted in the 20th round, to the CMC owner for DK in Dynasty. Now, that's how you finesse something, because we don't know what the long-term value is. Tua, Barkley, Gibbs, Achane, Rice, Devontae Smith, Dell, Jaden Reed, Puka with Kincaid. Should I drop Zamir White or Corum for Jaylen Wright? Yes, I mean, you should have already done this. If he's went through waivers and he's still sitting there, you're literally running the risk of having him get picked up right now while we're talking. You should have already done this, but that's okay. If you get it, pat yourself on the back. It's a big W. But I would probably say keep Corum if you've got Kyron, which I don't see. I guess I cut Corum for now then, if you don't have Kyron. But it's a tough call. This one right here, my last chat got skipped, I think, says Hayden. Okay, Hayden, let me find that in a second. Charles T, Mike Cooper, and JK for Mixon and Pacheco. I take Mixon and Pacheco and I run, bro. Trade Lamar for Dobbins and Kyler. You have Anthony Richardson. So why are you doing that? Why are you doing a trade? We're at 27,777 subscribers right now. What an amazing number. 2777. It's awesome. Nobody ruined it by hitting subscribe. Trade Lamar for... Why are we doing that? You know what I don't understand about this trade is... Booth, you got an opportunity to trade Lamar away because you have AR5. But instead of going and getting all of the meat and potatoes of the trade back in a wide receiver, running back, or a tight end, you're getting a big chunk of the value back at quarterback and getting a sliver left to go get that other piece. Trade Lamar for... You throw another quarterback in there and you ruin the give back of the other piece. The value, you only have so much value left to say, hey, can I have that? I don't like that maneuver. If you're gonna trade Lamar, trade Lamar. Don't trade Lamar for Kyler. And JK I like, but I don't know. It's a decent deal. I guess. Guys, should he do that trade? I mean, is JK worth it at this moment in time to say, I don't need Lamar. I'll downgrade him to Kyler, who we like anyway. Kyler could be as good as Lamar, right? And then you go ahead and you get J.K. Dobbins. I think you missed my super chat. Okay, let me go for yours as well. I may have missed both of your super chats. We're at 27,779 subscribers. You guys are amazing. We might go to 27.8K on this show. Likely and DJ Moore for Debo. I'd take Debo in a millisecond, bro. An absolute millisecond. That's a fantastic trade. Okay, here's this super chat. That might have been the one I accidentally closed, so I'm glad you told me. Hayden, let me see if Hayden's got one as well. Hayden, let me put your super chat here. Okay, so I think I got all the super chats handled. If there's any others that come in, I can answer them, no problem, before I leave real quick. Little Smitty's content with her gummy bears and her cartoon. She's just sitting out there anyway. She hasn't been feeling good today. So your boy's in charge of her because she can't go to school, can't go to the grandparents. Your boy gets stuck with that, but that's fine. You know, that's a part of life. Point 5, send Burrow, Chase, Raheem, Burton for Bijan. Send Burrow, Chase, Raheem, Burton. Of course I would. I mean, who's your quarterback? JD5? Yeah. I mean, that's like steal the century. I have AR5 and JD5 at QB. Yeah, so like send Burrow, Chase, Raheem, Burton for Bijan. Yeah. I'd rather have Bijan than Chase, and all the other stuff is like almost meaningless to you. You know, I'm not saying throw it away or give it away, but you do definitely get in the right side of that trade. 12-man PPR, Stafford, Love, Hall, Ford, Likely, Debo, Waddle, Neighbors, Bench, McLaughlin, London. I love London. I'm trying to get London in your lineup if you can. If not, I'm trying to trade London, or I'm trying to trade maybe Waddle or trade Neighbors to get Ford upgraded, to get Love upgraded, to get Stafford upgraded. I assume this is a super flex league by the looks of it. If not, then I'm still trying to upgrade that quarterback using one of those wide receivers. So yeah, easy call. Keep hitting that subscribe button, guys. Appreciate all the new people hitting the subscribe button. We got 1,000 people in here. We've been rolling with about 1,000 people in every live stream pretty much the last couple of days, and it's unbelievable. You guys are absolutely amazing. I work for you. I go live whenever big news breaks. So if any of you are like, hey, this is a cool show, what is this all about? I'm the Fantasy Football Show. My name is Smitty, and I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 5 p.m. West Coast time, every single Monday through Friday. I do a breaking news show every single Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. West Coast time. We sometimes go live 3 or 4 hours, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes an hour and a half. Off season's more like an hour and a half, but that's the thing. There's no off season here. I'm live Monday through Friday every single week. There's no weeks off. There's no Christmas week I'm off. It doesn't matter. This is what I do. I live, I breathe it. I'm live additionally whenever news breaks, like this very episode right here. So that means this is our second live stream today, one upload today, and the 8 p.m. show later today. I'm live most midnights. I don't know if I'll go live tonight at midnight because I'm going to be exhausted after having 3 live streams at least and one video upload premiere. So appreciate all you hitting subscribe. You guys have been smashing it. Trade London for Worthy in Dynasty. I would rather have Worthy right now. I know that's wild, but it is what it is. Like, as much as I love London, as much as draft value dictated something different, it doesn't matter. Draft values are out the window. We use them to gauge certain things, but it's not something we lock in. Do I send Mason to the CMC owner for Smith or Pickens? I would take, honestly, I waiver on the Pickens one because I think Mason could be that good, but I take Devontae Smith for him. I'll say that right now. Absolutely. If I missed any super chats, please let me know real quickly before I leave, and I will go and try and find it. Appreciate you. Big T with a celebratory message. Nobody does it like Smitty. Appreciate you. Thank you, Big T. Appreciate you. This one from OG. OG says, Week 1, worry warts need to chill. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, OG. People do panic like crazy after Week 1. Busy morning. You think Worthy or Keon this week? Worthy. I'm not sitting Worthy. Worthy's a must start at this point, bro. He's an absolute must start. A monster. This one from Smitty. I think you might have missed mine. I haven't seen it yet. Okay, yeah, I took care of you. I'm sorry, bro, about missing it the first time. You're an absolute legend. Appreciate you. And now we got a $20 hauler from Aaron Coman and Strong. Says start 10 Superflex Dynasty. One of my friends put Chase Brown on the block. And I'm offering Javonte Williams and Christian Kirk in a 25-second for BT. Love BT. BT for sure. And Chase Brown. I do it all. I do all that for BT. BT's worth it. BT for me. You get Chase Brown at BT. For that, you're absolutely crushing him. You're already beating him in the trade for just BT. So nice job. That's an absolute home run. Absolute home run, bro. Last two super chats, and then I'm out of here, but I'll be back at 8 p.m. Eastern. Offered Ayuk and Hubbard for Flowers and JK. Yeah, I'd probably take that. I won't say it's a smash, but I like it. I think it's a good move, but I think I like that side a little better. It's not the most attractive trade. Trade away Debo for Garrett Wilson. To be honest with you, I'm a little worried about the Jets, even though it's 1 week, and I always tell you guys not to panic, but there's certain things that I feel like are a panic and certain things I feel like are a harbinger of things to come. And I'm not saying I think they're going to be bad. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is going to get hurt. But I think to see how the Jets got manhandled in the second half, and the Niners are a tough D, it just concerns me a little bit that Garrett Wilson, just not seeing him do it in week 1 is a hard pill to swallow after everything we endured. And Debo's in such a great position. I probably lean Debo over Garrett Wilson right now. It's just safer, especially with CMC being hurt. Metcalf and McBride, who can I get? Metcalf and McBride, who can I get? I have Likely and Bowers. I don't know what you mean, Metcalf and McBride, who can I get? Like you're trying to trade Metcalf and McBride? You have Likely and Bowers? So I guess I would say like together, Metcalf and McBride should get you literally like a first-round player. You should be able to get Jamar Chase. You should be able to get St. Brown. And I go no lower. You should get Jahmyr Gibbs. You should get, like, if that's what you're talking about, for sure. That's a good enough package to go get something that big. Those are some monsters right now. If you won't get that, don't make the trade. Don't make the trade at all. I'll see you all at 8 p.m. Eastern. See you later. Appreciate you.